I made this video because while preparing for ADM's portfolio, I found very few resources available, which was frankly a pretty frustrating experience. In that regard, I hope this video helps a prospective ADM student like me be a little less in the dark, and if it did help you in getting accepted, do consider making a video like this so our future juniors can benefit. So just to give a little context about my background, I was from Singapore Polytechnic. I graduated with a diploma in digital animation where I specialized in 3D modeling. I submitted my package on the 20th of February and received my acceptance letter on the 22nd of March, which is much sooner than I expected considering I don't meet their IGP, so I can only assume my portfolio did all of the heavy lifting. I wasn't originally going to go for a degree ever, but after 2 years I kinda got bored of working, so I decided to go back to school. The professor who reviewed our work told us it was good to have a cover page to lead your viewers in. Also, I'll just briefly give context for my works, so feel free to pause if you need to. You know the tip about starting with your best work? Well, here's second best. I submitted the entire 4-minute film as part of my submission, so these are just some promotional materials, renders, and concept art I made. Admittedly, I think I might have added too many process works in this one. So I've kind of grouped together character designs, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're my best work. I mostly arranged it first because it flows nicely with what I presented for second best. This is an experimental comic based on poetry I wrote. A bit of a gamble this because I'm no comic artist, but I wanted to have some narrative-driven stuff on there. More narrative-driven work, a set of storyboards about an original story I came up with. It's also objectively the weakest piece in my portfolio, so it's right in the middle. The next few pieces are mostly illustrations because they're the bread and butter of my art skills. So this is actually a full-blown illustration created for a zine. It's based on the same universe the previous piece was in.
Also, if you live in Singapore, you can check out the otherworlds anthology at kinokuniya.
This one's a really personal piece. I wanted to leave it on something poignant that the professors will remember me by. So there's always this question of what should I include in my portfolio? When I was looking for advice on what NTU wants to see, a lot of current students would mention potential. And I mean, that's pretty vague, right? Like, what do you mean by potential? Everyone has potential, but you know, what's the potential that they're referring to? Well, to be honest, I'm still not entirely sure, but here's what I personally deduce from it. If you're not sure what kind of style or standard NTU looks for, you can refer to their alumni or current student works on their site and their social media, which can give you a bit of an idea of what kind of pieces they're looking for and the skills they're cultivating. Not necessarily just to get in, but also to determine whether it's the right school for you and your goals. Of course, do keep in mind that you're looking at seniors' work, so don't be intimidated by the quality. This is just for a general idea of the direction that they would want any prospective students to go in. Don't think it's necessary to add as much process work as I did. In truth, I think it's actually rather unorthodox to do so. I'm just kind of pretentious like that. It'd be good to have some sketches and brief explanation here and there, but try not to info overload as much as I did, otherwise it might look like you're overcompensating. From what I've gathered, ADM likes works that portray some sort of narrative, however simple, to show that you have some depth and thought to your work, rather than just like a pretty portrait or like some apples or something. As such, I did try to imbue some works that incorporated my personal experiences and interests, such as my Malay heritage and also my life growing up as a child of divorce. There's no need to cannibalize your own trauma, like I did of course, but I think it's nice to show some stuff that you're genuinely passionate about so they can see a bit of your personality through your portfolio alone. It's good to show versatility, but this only works if you can pull it off. There's no point in having all sorts of multimedia work if they're all kind of average. It'd be better to focus on a niche that you're already good at, and maybe deviate as much as you're comfortable with whilst maintaining a similar standard. Point in case, I nearly submitted an animation for my creative project when it literally wasn't my strong suit at all. I ended up scrapping it 1 week before submission date and it this instead, and honestly, it was a good call. The theme we were given this year was contrast, so I incorporated various elements of contrast into my piece to convey the theme. The important thing here is to make sure you nail the theme dead on, such that someone who had no idea what the theme was would be able to guess. Keep it simple. I decided to draw an umbrella, but honestly, I'm just being extra. I just spoke from the heart, I guess. I wasn't entirely sure if you needed to back up your statements, like a formal personal statement, because it's only 200 words, but I'm the kind of person who likes to do so I just added in some evidence to substantiate my points. Same thing here, I just gushed about why I liked the film. I think here they want to see some kind of artistic analysis on the work you cite to show that you critically engage with the media you consume. If you're stuck on what to write, there's plenty of analysis you can find online, behind the scenes videos, etc. that can help give some ideas. Essentially, this is where you can really advocate for your place in the school. Because I'm a pretentious nerd, I added some philosophizing about the beauty of art and animation and whatever. And that's about everything. In essence, make it personal, keep it simple, emphasize your strengths. I hope this was helpful in any way, and if it was, do consider making your own portfolio video. Thanks for watching, and good luck!